I know what your first thought is. Holy shit, it's just the box. No figure, no accessories out of the package, just the box. Hey everybody, so today we are reviewing the Super7 Battle Beast from Invincible. Now, this is based off the comics. Jada Toys, from what I've gathered, Jada Toys is going to be doing the show figures, and Super7 is going to be doing the comic book figures. Now, this is the first Super7 figure that I have gotten, so I'm pretty excited about it. Yeah, so, and it's Invincible, and I love Invincible. Unfortunately, I couldn't find the Invincible figure from SDCC, but this is the SDCC exclusive Battle Beast that I got from a local comic book store. The owner's super cool. He goes to SDCC, and then he'll buy a bunch of stuff so he can then sell it at his comic book store so people can get their hands on them, and he'll sell them for cheaper. I got this for $45. Anyway, so yeah, the front of the packaging, it is a slip cover. We'll go over both layers. The front of the slip cover is a picture of a Battle Beast. Same with the right side, just his hand, and then the left side. It does say Invincible Universe Battle Beast, the Super7 logo, ages 14 up. On the top, all it says is Ultimates, more of that picture. And in the back, we have Skybound Entertainment, contents, one figure with accessories, Super7 logo again, Invincible Universe Battle Beast. And then the bottom of it, legal info, the barcode, Super7 logo again. Anyway, let's get this slipcover off. Now, here is Battle Beast. I did take the figure out just to kind of play with it, get a feel of the articulation, but let's raise up the camera a little bit. I've yet to actually go in depth with the posing and the playing. I also have yet to actually bring out any of his accessories, but he comes with a lot. You get this big old window. There's the figure himself. He's got a hammer, a mace, 2 swords, 3 sets of hands. I'll go over that with the tray. An alternate head. Once again, Battle Beast. It looks like the same picture, or the same portrait. Of course, the bottom is the same. Another shot, or another window, and a back. Again, that same beautiful shot. And again, all the logos, and same at the top. This is the first packaging that I have where it's like an actual collectible figure, not something like the Superpowers figures or the Jack Specific figures, where it is just artwork, which is pretty neat. I know most of the time things like that are from like convention exclusive figures like this one, but I'm super excited to dive into this, go over the articulation with you guys. So stay tuned. Really quickly, I just wanted to bring out the tray so you could see a better shot of all the accessories. And here is the Battle Beast himself out with all of his glorious accessories. He doesn't come with a lot, but what he does come with is super amazing. And of course, like always, we'll go over all of his accessories in more detail. It is an impressive amount of accessories for it being a bigger figure. I will say, in terms of this alternate head, it's very similar. And what I mean by that is, in this hand is the head that came stock. Or no, sorry, this hand is the head that came stock with the figure. This hand is the alternate head. They are extremely similar. So at the end of this video, we are going to do a little painting. And on this head, we're going to paint some blood dripping out. Do a little red wash on his teeth. Anyway, in terms of his other accessories, interchangeable parts, he does come with a few hands. So these are the hands that came equipped on the figure. They are his gripping hands for his weapons. Comes with 2 fists and then 1 kind of open grabbing hand. If you have an invincible figure, you can kind of have it to where it's like he's grabbing him, slamming against the wall. This is the oh god, they just went out of business. Diamond Select Invincible, because like I said, I don't have the Jada Toys Invincible yet. I do have it on pre-order, and I'm so excited. And I thought about ordering, because they are already selling on eBay, thought about ordering the SDCC exclusive head sculpt, or not head sculpt, Invincible figure from eBay. So in terms of his other accessories, he comes with a big ass hammer to do a lot of slamming, which he does use in the comics. I'm thinking all of these are going to end up getting a wash. But I do love the detail. Damn, that's really shiny. I do love the detail. There's a bunch of dings and scratches and dents. Makes it look worn. And a nice cast iron sculpt and cast iron color. Very reflective. It is very much reflecting the light from my ceiling. Same with this sword. Very similar detail. Got some leather wrapping. A bit smooth for my liking, but that's okay. Yeah, various dings and scratch and dents and all of that. I like it. I think it looks great. Like I said, probably going to do black wash. That'll be my own free time. And then he comes with, I don't know if this is meant to be a flaming sword or what. I don't know if he uses this in the main Invincible comics or if it's just from his own comic. But it looked great. It looks super cool. I love the gradient from orange to yellow. I like how, I don't know if you can tell on camera, but I know in person it is not the same. There is more yellow on this side. Or no, sorry, on this side compared to this side. I really hope it's showing up in camera. But it's super neat. And then we also have this mace, and like his hammer and his sword, there are various dings and dents and scratches, and just to make it look worn and used, and like he's gone and abused people with it, which again is absolutely fantastic. Now here is what you guys actually came for. Battle Beast himself. He looks absolutely fantastic. All kinds of sculpted detailing, and he does need a wash. He does look a little too clean for my liking, but like again, just that head sculpt with the beautiful, that I haven't even noticed yet, because like I said, I haven't actually gone through it and looked at the details of this figure. He does have beautiful eye paint. You can even see some white in the pupils. His teeth are a bit too clean, probably gonna get a yellow wash on this head sculpt. And then, like I said, this head sculpt is gonna have blood dripping from his mouth with some red wash on his teeth. But then, like, here, let's pop the head off real quick. In terms of the armor plating, like, look at that, dude. It is so freaking amazing. He's got some beautiful sculpting on the actual cloth section, just wrinkles and stuff, and then coming even on the back, like all kinds of wrinkle detailing and bits and folds of where the cloth would naturally lay. And even on his gloves, again, both sides. Now, I haven't watched any reviews of this guy, but I have seen on like Instagram and like, actually just Instagram, of photos of this guy, and I have heard some complaints that they don't like the articulation setup. From what I've noticed, it's not too bad. He does have import style joints, double jointed import style joints, which I guess isn't a common thing for Super 7 to do. But I'm glad out of all of the figures it was Battle Beast. Yeah, I'm so glad I was able to find this guy. I could just go on and on. He's even got, I don't know what you can see it on the camera. Oh no, you can see them just fine. He has beautiful sculpting on his I don't know if they're sleeves or like his arm covers too. Anyway, enough about the sculpt work. I don't know if you guys can tell. I'm very impressed with this figure and very glad I got it. I will say, on my copy, I don't know if that's where paint has rubbed off or paint has bled on. That is the only one of two, I should say. On the foot, you can see where there's some paint chipping. But other than that, those are the only two places where I've noticed anything like that. Nothing between the legs, nothing anywhere else, which is so just amazing, and I'm so glad that it's not like all over the figure like a Hasbro or even a McFarlane would be. Anyway, let's go ahead and go over our articulation of this guy. He does have, as you saw, he does have a dumbbell at the top of the head, which can get him that far, which is really impressive for him being such a big figure. Not even just that, the big mane sculpt he has on his head. That is an extremely impressive amount of range. And then he looks down, again, really impressive given all of the sculpt that he has on his head. He does have, of course, popped his head off, hang on a sec. There we go. He does, of course, have a full 360 degrees tilt, which, again, super impressive. And then you can kind of shift the head back and forth as well, which is typical of figures with dumbbell joints in the head. His arms, almost a full 90, not quite, but almost. His elbows are, again, double jointed, and they get a beautiful range, which is super impressive. Most bigger figures like this don't get that kind of range even with double jointed elbows. For the few big figs that do have double joints. And then, of course, he does have bicep swivel. He does have an upper diaphragm joint, which can lean back about that far. Not a lot of forward, but there is some. And then with both the waist and diaphragm, you can crunch forward about that far, which, again, super impressive. And then you can crunch back about that far. He's also really lightweight. I don't know if I've mentioned that or not yet, but he is extremely lightweight, which is so nice, because compared to like a Marvel Legends Hulk, which I understand Marvel Legends Hulk is typically bigger than this, but even still, like compared to another Marvel Legends that is closer in this size, he's still a hefty, or like usually there are still hefty figures, but like my custom hammer of Baravia, about the same size in terms of height, but weight, this guy is heavier. This guy is not. He is extremely lightweight. Again, dare I say, almost import quality when it comes to the weight, which is so nice. Anyway, his legs come out about that far. They are slightly inhibited by the skirt piece. He does have not necessarily an upper thigh cut, but an upper thigh swivel, which can bring you in about that far, bring you out about that far. He does have a little bit of swivel at the knee. I don't know if you can see that. It's on both sides. And then he does have a boot cut, which is great. And then he's got a hinge that can go down that far and up that far. When I was playing with the figure, I couldn't tell if there was, I don't think there is, an ankle pivot, which if there isn't, that is very disappointing. I will try and heat him up some more because my right side boot is also a little stiff, and I'm not trying to break this beautiful figure, especially because he will be the one that I have on display until Jada comes out with theirs. I do have a custom that I made years ago when Invincible first came out, when I first started getting into customizing. But this figure, to be expected, mogs the fuck out of that custom. But yeah, I don't know if he does have an ankle pivot. I'm going to heat him up a little bit more, try and see if he does. Also, forgot to mention, he does have, of course, wrist rotation and a hinge. And it is extremely stiff. So again, heat it up. Don't break your figures. It's on the fists. I just realized the fists aren't what comes stock. I do need to heat up his fist joints. You can see that better with his weapon holding hand, that hinge. They are all horizontal. That is another minor complaint that I wish his weapon holding hands had vertical hinges instead of horizontal hinges. But yeah, the joints are extremely smooth, despite the fact that you can definitely feel the ratchet divots in there. They are extremely smooth and have so much range. No butterfly joint, but that's okay. He can still hit all of the poses that he needs to. For example, this is him with his big ass reflective hammer. I will say the fingers on his weapon holding hands are a little stiff, so if you so choose, heat him up, and then stick the hammer or his mace or whatever, the swords, his various swords, heat them up first and then stick them in his hand. Thankfully, because his hammer really doesn't have much of a pommel, and the one it does have is flush with the rest of the handle. Thankfully, it slid in his hands, no problem. But for like his mace, yeah, I would recommend heating up his fingers. I mean, you easily can slide it in there. It's just very first of all, it's just very difficult because of how stiff his fingers are. Now, on to size comparisons, which, if you guys remember in my Superman review, it is one of my favorite parts of action figure reviews because you can see what lines the figure works with and what lines the figure doesn't. So first of all, we have the Diamond Select Invincible figure. This is the one that came with the first volume of the Invincible series. You will notice a bunch of green stuff. I did go through, shorten the limbs, shorten the arms and the legs just to make him work more on a 6-inch scale. Because he was in a 7-inch scale beforehand. I also went through and improved the articulation and such. But yeah, here he is with my modified Diamond Select Toys Invincible. He is next to SH Figure Arts Kamen Rider Ryuki, which was going to be my next review. But then I found my next review after Superman, I should say. But then I found this guy, and I'm like, all right, I gotta knock out the review tonight. As of getting the video or getting the figure, I gotta knock out the review, and then I'll do Kamen Rider Ryuki next. He will be my next review, I should say. Yeah, he does tower again over Ryuki. Here he is next to the Spin Master Metamorpho. I spent my last review calling this guy Metallo so many times, and I didn't even notice, and I am so sorry, guys. Here he is next to my SHF Superman. These two look really great together. I wasn't expecting that because we got live action next to comic book, and they look absolutely fantastic together. Expect some toy photography on my Instagram of these two duking it out. Here he is next to a McFarlane Toys Superman Red Sun. Also a prime example of why you should heat your toys up before playing with them. His dumbbell joint did break, unfortunately, but I haven't had the heart to throw him away because I've had him in my collection since I started collecting. Actually, he is my fourth action figure ever. So I have not had the heart to throw him out. And for a final comparison, here he is next to my custom Battle Beast on a Marvel Legends body. I don't remember what figure I used, but yeah, like I said, this guy absolutely fucking mogs the hell out of this guy. Again, this is when I first started customizing. Like, I'm looking at a couple of my customs right now, and I'm like, yeah, dude, I've definitely improved. But you can see just how much of a difference there is between these two. This one's based off the comic. This one is based off the show. So once the Jada Toys figure comes out, again, there will be a comparison between all three. That's if I haven't already used this guy for fodder yet. All right, I did say I was gonna do a little bit of customizing. That's not the red that I use. So I do have my red. These are the paints that I use. And I know like all of you like hardcore action figure customizers are gonna see that, probably cringe. But you know what? They work really well. I know it probably looks hella pink on camera, but in person that is a red, and it'll dry red. I can promise you that. We aren't going to use too much. We're only going to use a little bit. We are going to use if I can find it in my cup here. There we are. We are going to use a thin brush without toppling over everything. My bad. About this thin. I realized he kind of blend in to the background. I am going to get at some point some foam board and what am I trying to say? Some foam board and to have a white setup. Sorry, I got really distracted. I did realize that this is the head that came stock on the figure, and this is an alternate head. So yeah, we're just gonna go through. And the great thing about these paints is that they are very easily removable. So if I end up not liking the paint, or for some reason I sell the figure, which I really don't sell my figures. I did a long time ago when I was still a kid, because I realized, because I moved and didn't have enough room for them. However, since I've been back home from deployment, and since I've moved out to Utah, I have not had any need to sell any of my figures. If anything, I probably should, just to clear up some shelf space, but I haven't really needed to. Yeah, we're just gonna do a thin layer, almost a wash, but not quite. Just to make it look like he got into a fight recently. You can see that it's even on the teeth. Yeah, it looks really good. And then we're gonna do it in some other places too, just to make it look like blood splatter. Kind of wanna, if you want to, you can wipe away any paint that you don't want on the figure, just to make it look like he has recently gotten into a fight with someone. Careful not to paint the eye. And again, some places it'll be thin. If you don't like where it's at, you can take your paper towel and just wipe away any excess. Like, I didn't really like where I put that. If you need to, clean off your brush. Get some water on that bad boy. Go to where you painted. Get it wet again. And then again, take your paper towel and just wipe away. That is the great thing about using acrylic paints. It is super, super easy to remove. And they dry fast. I mean, like, it's already dry to the touch. Then, where's my thin brush at? There you are. And then, one final touch. You want to get the brush as wet as possible. And then just get the thinnest amount of red on there. And then we'll come to the teeth. And again, paint them red. If you need some more paint, go to where you got your watery paint at. You don't want too much, about like that. Yeah, that is a beautiful, bloodied up Battle Beast. And then we're gonna take his other head, because I did say I wanted to do a bit of a yellow wash. We're gonna take this matte khaki paint, mix it in with just a little bit. That might have been too much. We'll see. A little bit of the white. Mix it all together. No, that was the perfect amount. And you don't want any of that excess paint on your brush. See all these action figure customizers, man. They go and use these expensive paints, which I understand some of those paints do look really good, but like, you can get a lot accomplished with just some 99-cent paint. from Walmart. You can really see how thin that paint is, and then we'll go through to his teeth. Just ever so slightly. Get the paint all along the brush, or all along his teeth, just to make him look a little more natural. If you get it in a spot you don't want, just wipe it off. Take your finger, or even, again, your paper towel, and wipe it off. There you go. I don't know how well you can see that on camera, but there definitely is a difference. It's slight, but it's there. His teeth are very much dirtied up now. And you can do the same, if you so choose, to his mane. Really quick. Here's how that bloodied up head sculpt looks. Looks absolutely fantastic. And it's a nice glossy red. So it'll look like fresh blood. And here is his yellowed up teeth. Might go through, you know what, not even a might. I don't know where my yellow paint went off. That's kind of annoying. Oh, here it is. Yeah. We're gonna actually, and again, you don't want the brush to not be soaked, because that khaki white color isn't really showing up. If you so choose, you can kind of mix the two like I'm doing. So then that way it looks like a plaque, like a plaquey, natural teeth yellow color. Or, if you so choose, you don't have to do this at all. It's your figure, it's your toy. Do whatever it is you want with it. I mean, hell, you don't even have to take it out of the box. I know there are a lot of in-box collectors, and that's okay. Because you know what? It's their toy. They can do whatever they want with their toys. Just as long as everyone respects everyone. As long as in-box collectors respect out-of-box collectors, and out-of-box collectors respect in-box collectors. Look at that. That is a much better natural look. Anyway, yeah, as long as everyone respects everyone, that's all that matters. That being said, that is going to wrap up our Super7 Invincible Universe SDCC exclusive Battle Beast review. This is one of my longer videos. I do apologize for that. Actually, not even one of my longer videos. I think this is my longest video that's still up on my channel. I do apologize for that. I just wanted to be able to kind of give you guys a sneak peek at how I customize. I'll probably add more red into that figure, or into that head sculpt, just to make him look a little more bloodied. And it's not his blood, of course. It's whoever he's fighting's blood. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this as much as I did. Again, I I really do enjoy this figure so very much. He's absolutely fan freaking tastic. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, leave a comment if you want, or even subscribe if you so choose. You don't have to, of course. You're not obligated to, but if you want more, if you want to stay up to date on my content, absolutely subscribe. Maybe even just putting it out there, turn on the bell notification. And with that though, I will see you guys in my next figure review, which again will be this fella right here.